and some contract deals yesterday. In Detroit, the Lions extend Jared Goff a 4-year, $212 million deal with $170 million guarantee. That's $53 million per year. It makes him the second highest paid quarterback in the National Football League at this moment, only behind Joe Burrow. A big deal in Detroit, keeping Jared Goff in-house for many years to come.
Spent a lot of money in this offseason, and good for them. They have some good things going here, and it looks like if you're going to keep your offensive coordinator Ben Johnson in town, give him the quarterback that he likes and keep your quarterbacks happy. And it's apparent here that the locker room really loves Jared Goff. Did you watch the NFL draft when the players came up on stage? Jared Goff came out last, and everybody was cheering, Goff, 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 Goff. I mean, that's the way you do it here. Make the guy feel wanted, and also keep in mind this. You know who owns the Detroit Lions? It's the Ford family. Yes, the car dealer Ford family here. As long as you have that front-end money to spend on signing bonus, you can spread that cap all the way out. Take care of your players. Keep them happy. We're expecting big things from the Lions. And quite frankly, Jared Goff deserved this. If you're an above-average starting quarterback in the NFL like Jared Goff, you are going to get paid a lot of money. It's just the day and age that we live in now, Ben.
It's a really good point. The numbers might look crazy, especially depending on where you think Jared Goff falls in the National Football League. I would consider him, maybe as crazy as this sounds, a top 10 quarterback currently in the National Football League. He is ranked in the top 10 in passing yards each of the past 2 NFL seasons. It has been a reason the Lions have been on the rise in the NFC around the National Football League. Last year, second most passing yards in the NFL, 4,575, leading the Lions to their first divisional crown in the National Football League in 3 decades, their first playoff win in 32 years, their first NFC Championship game appearance in 32 seasons as well. Also the 6th most 2 years ago with more than 4,400 in 2022. I believe Jared Goff is deserving of this number, and because of where the quarterback market is going. Second highest paid quarterback at this moment, only behind Joe Burrow, and you see those other names, but with a ton of quarterbacks due for a pay raise this summer, with the likes of Dak Prescott or maybe even a Trevor Lawrence, I don't know if Jared Goff will enter 2024 by the time we kick on that Thursday night in Kansas City, even as the second highest paid QB, knowing the inflation rates of the quarterback salaries.
Exactly, and that's just what happens, and you have to get used to that here. We saw it a lot, a couple years ago, when the NBA got that influx of a big money contract for television. You were seeing like bench guys getting $50 and $60 million, going like, what happened here? And now you're eventually going to see guys making $75 and $80 million a year in the NBA. Same thing with the NFL. As the sport stays popular here, every single time you re-up all these contracts, that's why we talk about, hey, Peacock's going to get a game. Netflix is going to get a game. You see all of these things. That's all hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars into the coffers of the NFL, which does get spread out to the players. So it's not a surprise anymore. And again, the theory behind paying your quarterbacks and your top-rated players, pay them earlier. The longer you wait, it only costs you money. If you have a top-flight wide receiver, pay him here. Don't wait, because you know what's going to happen next? Justin Jefferson will get his, and then Jamar Chase, once he get his, sign them first. Save millions of dollars on your bottom line here.
For sure.
Jared Goff's just the latest there. Waited it out. Good move by the agent. There you go.
Tony, it's why we saw a record-setting deal for Antoine Winfield Jr. for the Buccaneers, who has been an outstanding safety for Tampa in his young NFL career. But he made a 4-year, $84.1 million contract extension yesterday with $48 million guaranteed, the most ever in the NFL for a player at the safety spot.
Crazy.
He is now the highest-paid defensive back in the National Football League. But you see that often, regardless of position. This offensive lineman, that tight end, highest paid ever. It's because of where the contract salaries are going, with how much money in total the National Football League continues to rake in. Jared Goff, 8 years now in the National Football League, the previous 3 in Detroit. It's not often, Donnie, you can look back on a trade and consider it a huge success for both sides. But that was the Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff deal between the Rams and the Lions now over 3 years ago. With Stafford, the Rams won a Super Bowl. With Jared Goff, very promising things happening in the Motor City. And it's now not, hey, congrats, guys, you won your first playoff game in more than 3 decades. With the odds for 2024, the Lions expected to be in the NFC title game once again. Second best price to win the NFC championship, only behind the 49ers.
And by the way, also, the misconceptions here of, oh, look at that, Jared Goff with that contract. It's that both of these organizations technically won. But let's also keep in mind, you take a look at that Stafford deal. Goff was basically just a throw-in placeholder at that point. But also, this isn't a feel-good story about Jared Goff, a guy who was undrafted, making a lot of money. Like, do we forget he was the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft? Like, he was supposed to be above average quarterback. So good on him for finding a home in Detroit and also using him correctly here, apparently, where you couldn't do that out in Los Angeles in that McVay offense. But good career so far. Let's just see if he can take Detroit to the next level. We'll find out next.
So some big schedule news around the National Football League as well coming our way on this Tuesday morning. Tomorrow, the full schedules for all 32 NFL organizations will be unveiled, but in the coming hours and in the next 24 of them, we're going to start to get those schedule releases and some schedule leaks. Week 2, the Chiefs back at home, hosting another AFC title contender in the Cincinnati Bengals. 2 straight AFC North opponents inside Arrowhead for the Chiefs to start the year. Debut night of the season on that Thursday against the Ravens. Week number 2 on that Sunday against the Cincinnati Bengals,
Yeah, tough start. Would have been even tougher if both of those games were on the road, but Super Bowl champions always get that first game at home, and it's going to be a tough contest against Baltimore. 2 teams coming in. It's Thursday Night Football, but not a true Thursday Night Football game, but then you get the benefit the following week if you play on that Thursday night because you get that mini-bye to break down extra film, and you get Cincinnati at home. That's a big advantage in game number 2, just in case like last year where KC lost in game number 1. Maybe this year if they get that split, that second game, like, okay, we get an extra couple days to prepare for the Cincinnati Bengals.
For a second consecutive year, Donnie Rightside, Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets will open up their season on a Monday night. Week number 1 is his right Achilles shivering in fear on this Tuesday morning here in the middle of May. It will be the Jets visiting Santa Clara and the San Francisco 49ers on that opening Monday of the season.
You better get that offensive line correct because that's a hellacious pass rush that's going to be coming after him. He might be having nightmares once again, week number 1.
Tom Brady will call his first football game for Fox between the Browns and the Cowboys that opening Sunday of the season as well.